We at the agency are on a mission to help you, the young entrepreneurs, to turn your hobbies into entrepreneurship and skills into business. So in addition to your interaction with industry experts this evening, please take some time to ask us about how the Youth Economy Agency can serve you. Today, as we host you, aspiring businessmen and women from Choiseul, Soufrière, and Canneries, please capitalize on this opportunity to mix and mingle with each other, network with industry professionals, and tap into the expertise of business professionals. I urge you to take advantage of this unique opportunity to ask as many questions as possible. Soak up as much knowledge as you can. It is our sincere hope that the invaluable information you will garner today will help propel your business into a season of success.
The Youth Economy Agency has successfully completed the Entrepreneurial Development Training Program. Over the past few weeks, we embarked on an Introduction to Business Planning training initiative aimed at empowering our aspiring entrepreneurs and equipping them with the necessary skills to bring their business ideas to life. By facilitating this training program, we are hoping to upskill 100 St. Lucians between the ages of 18 and 35 years old. Today, I am thrilled to announce that our business planning training has been a resounding success in terms of attendance, completion rates, and most importantly, angel fund qualification for the various business startups. The objective of the training was to help our young entrepreneurs develop a deeper appreciation for the importance of planning. At the conclusion of 3 weeks, participants prepared a comprehensive business plan for their individual business ventures. The business plan was then submitted to the Youth Economy Agency to be reviewed by an evaluation committee. Once approved, participants qualify for an angel fund of $5,000 cash injection to their respective businesses. These funds will provide much needed financial assistance and resources to turn the entrepreneurial dreams into a tangible reality. This achievement demonstrates not only the caliber of training, but also the potential for economic growth and prosperity within our country. To conclude, as we embark on the next phase of our journey together, I encourage you all to seize the opportunity to learn, grow, and succeed through our mentorship program, as well as our training programs. Thank you all for being a part of this remarkable journey with us, and we look forward to witnessing the incredible accomplishments that will unfold for each and every one of you.
I would like to call to the mic Mr. Darnell Bobb, the General Manager of the Force Jacques Credit Cooperative Society Limited, to speak briefly.
There is a reason why a lot of businesses, or you don't have so many businesses coming up, or so many businesses are failing, and that's because it's a high-risk business, but it has a high reward. And so I want to commend each and every one of you here for taking that decision to go into this very special area. And I wish you all the best. I support the youth economy fully because I understand what it can do for young persons and what it can do for our economy and our country. So I wish you all the best. Yes, so in terms of credit unions and what they are, I would like to start by letting you know the importance of money. Money is seen by many as a means by which we can pay for, purchase goods and services, but it's more than that. There are benefits such as a store of value. It can help you determine the value of your products and services. It can be used as collateral. It can be used as investments, and so on and so forth. And hence the reason why it's important that you manage your money properly, not just as an individual, but as a business. So you would know of the traditional commercial banks, investment banks, online banking, and so on and so forth, all there to assist you with that. But credit unions are a very special creature. They are a type of cooperative. And cooperatives are businesses that are owned and operated by members to provide benefits to members that those members felt were not being provided for well enough for them. And so credit unions date back all the way to the 1800s in Europe. And before we had credit unions in St. Lucia, we had things like susus and other means of causing persons, primarily persons who are not well off, to be able to save and be able to afford goods and services that they would not be able to do on a normal basis. Credit unions are a financial cooperative. In other words, they provide financial services to their members. We are in the business to improve lives for our members. So when you come in and you join a credit union, you're not seen as a customer or an individual that we're looking to maximize profits, but rather we're looking at you as the owner. So if you're a member of a credit union, you're the owner of that credit union, or you're a part owner of that credit union. And as such, we are supposed to treat you like owners. We are supposed to look after your best interests. And so we provide financial services for you, not with the intention of making a profit from you. One of the things I tell young people when they start businesses, put in there as one of your expenses your salary or your wage, and pay yourself, if you can afford to pay yourself a wage, but do not use the business money and mix it with your personal expenses and your personal business. All right? So managing your money, a lot of businesses fail because they don't manage. They have a good product, good price, they have customers, they're making the money, but where's the money? And a lot of people come to me and say, Mr. Bob, I can't save her. Help me save her, please. Help me save. And what we put in place for y'all is a special depositor's account within your account where we put instructions there. Do not allow J-Buds to withdraw money unless it's an emergency, unless approved by the manager. So you'd save in there. And when you need money from that account, you will have to seek permission to get your own money.
Now, to deliver our feature presentation this evening, it is my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Mauricia Thomas Francis.
It is my distinct honor and privilege to be here this evening to address you, and I immensely thank the leadership of the Youth Economy Agency for this opportunity. Of course, when I received the request, I was dealing with a number of competing priorities, as I always do. But of course, anything to do with the development of the youth, number one. Anything to do with empowering Soufriérians, I show up. I will start my address by boldly stating that becoming a business entrepreneur has proven to be one of the most rewarding endeavors that one can undertake. The fact that you have decided to capitalize on that tremendous opportunity afforded to you by the government of St. Lucia to become entrepreneurs speak volumes. It speaks to your ambition, your focus, your passion to contribute to your own empowerment as well as to contribute to the development of your country. Let's give them a round of applause, please. While we speak about the rewards of business entrepreneurship, I hasten to add it is also a daunting task, and there can be failures if it is not done right. The theme of today's event is extremely apt. Planning for success, the importance of a business plan. I am sure that you have heard the saying that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. In the business world, this is a truism. What are the prerequisites for starting a viable and successful business? Business planning is an essential one. Of course, personal attributes and characteristics of management are essential and extremely critical in the field of entrepreneurship. Of course, why is it important, you might ask? Simply put, if you do not plan to address what you wish to achieve, how you plan to achieve, and what resources are required to succeed, you will never attain your business goals. A business plan is critically important as it assists with validation of a business idea through an in-depth feasibility assessment. So therefore, the business plan is the roadmap which helps to set and communicate strategic business goals, track and take strategic actions on these goals by taking important and timely business decisions, manage resources of a human, financial, and physical nature, and or identify and manage risk or change that may impact the business from time to time. A business plan is an important guide for service providers and for securing financing. The other element is operations and management. People and process are two very important elements for maintaining a successful business. Ensuring the correct workforce, both in terms of quantity and quality, is key to ensuring efficiency in your business. In recruiting people to assist you in the business, you have to make sure you recruit the right fit. You might have a family member who is unemployed, but you have to ask yourself, hey, while I want to be charitable to my family, does the person have the skills, the requisite skills to ensure that my business venture succeeds? And if you're going to be a sole trader, it is very important for you to acquire the skills necessary to ensure success in your business. So those of you who have not done a customer service course, there are small courses that can be done. And these days, YouTube is replete with all kinds of courses. You can teach yourself customer service, you can teach yourself sales, techniques, business operations. If you cannot afford the time and the financial resources to do a course, go to YouTube. It's all there. One of the areas that sink businesses or cause business failure is the credit policy. How much credit you give. And the same way I spoke to you about managing stock efficiently, in that same vein, you need to be able to manage credit. Because if you take stock and you give it on credit and the cash is not coming, at the end of the month, when you need to meet your overheads, you'll need to face the bank again. And again, the bank will ask you the question, let me see your sales book, let me see your records, what did you sell? All the sales are there, but you've sold on credit and you cannot collect. So your credit policy has to be effective. It has to be one. For small businesses, the better thing is not to give credit. Management and staffing is another key element. So therefore, your business plan must contain an organization chart which would show the level of management, how many staff you're going to have, what are your staff going to be doing, what will be their role in the business. And of course, you must include a financial plan as to how much it's going to cost you. In other words, you must know how much you're going to pay the staff. And you don't just pull that from a hat. You have to do the analysis to determine at what rate do they pay a teller in Soufrière? At what rate do they pay a bartender in Soufrière? At what rate do they pay a masseuse in Soufrière? So that at the end of the day, you can do a comparison and determine how you're going to cater for those salaries and ensure that you attract the best talent and talent that you can keep motivated, because pay is very, very important as well. The final element of the business plan is the financial plan. The financial plan is one of the most important elements of your business plan. This is especially true if the business plans to borrow capital from a financial institution. The financial institution, apart from everything else that I have mentioned that you must include in the plan, you must have cash flow projections. If it's an existing business, you have to include your balance sheet for your last financial year. You have to include your income and expenditure statement for the last financial year, and that would show what you achieved for the last financial year. If it is a new business, we are dealing with projections. And even if it's an existing business, you would have both the projections and the historic data. But for new businesses, you have to have the projections. My experience has shown that entrepreneurs have a false notion that business plans are developed for the bank. Business plans are not developed for the bank. This is far from the truth. The business plan is used by the bank to assist you to achieve your financial needs. However, the plan is for you as the investor to know how you're going to approach your investment. It's going to help you with making decisions in terms of changes that you need to make in your business to ensure that it remains viable, whether you are looking at risk, whether you're looking at opportunities, whether you're looking at threats, and what have you. Ladies and gentlemen, running a successful business, especially a micro business, is not for the faint-hearted. I want to let you know that. It's not for the faint-hearted. There is inherent risk in entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs must possess the ability to multitask, mitigate numerous business-related risks, as I said, while simultaneously bringing a product or service to market at a price point that meets customer demands. The life of a sole trader, as many of you are or will become, is even more daunting and demanding. If done well, however, the end result can be extremely rewarding. You must be passionate about your venture, your goals and achievements. Keep in mind that there is no going back. Once you've made that decision to invest, you are in it, and you are in it to win. This will ensure that you are in it wholeheartedly, and it's not just another job. Understand your business in and out. Do not get into something you don't have a passion for. You should be ready to eat, sleep, and breathe your business. Treat it as the epicenter of your life. That's how you will succeed. Exercise resilience and patience to navigate the daily demands associated with your business. As you are now starting your journey, this is particularly important as there are several hoops to jump before you can start to operate your business. Hoops to get licenses, to get funding, to get inputs. From my experience, this can be extremely daunting. I must mention government agencies whom sometimes do not have the requisite sense of urgency. Don't lose patience. Continue to beat the pavement and continue to focus on your dreams. Practice good interpersonal and communication skills to interact professionally with all your different stakeholders, including, very importantly, your staff and your customers. Be disciplined and prudent to maintain the correct focus, especially with management of the financial resources of the business, as I mentioned earlier on. Sales do not equate profits. We cannot overemphasize that. Be highly organized, learn to multitask, and manage time efficiently. Management effectiveness also requires the discipline of hard work, adaptability, flexibility, agility, and continuous learning and development. Enroll in related courses to enhance your entrepreneurial skills in customer service, sales, as I mentioned earlier on, and so forth. Honesty, fairness, and demonstration of high ethical standards are essential, especially in pricing goods, dealing with your bank, dealing with your employees, customers, and suppliers. Review your business plan on an ongoing basis by monitoring the business environment and taking timely decisions. Do not be scared of failure, as it will sometimes come. Failure may become a part of your journey. Learn from them. Stumble, get up, dust off, and run again. Many successful entrepreneurs today have gone through numerous failures. Keep an eye out for new opportunities. Identify when existing businesses become the cash cow and when you are ready to invest in a new one. Do not ignore opportunities, as if you ignore good opportunities, you will not grow your business. Give yourself a chance. Step out of your comfort zone. There is a plethora of opportunities out there. Pursue avenues for diversification. If you fail in one, you know that there is another one to hold straight. Ladies and gentlemen, you have taken the first admirable step to capitalize on this tremendous opportunity given to you by the government of St. Lucia to become entrepreneurs and to empower yourselves. Go out there and be the best entrepreneur that you can be, and your reward will be massive, I can guarantee you. Good luck in your respective endeavors. Remember always, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
So at what point in your entrepreneurial journey did you decide to create a business plan, or at what point did you realize that you needed it and how important it was?
I'm giving the best years of my life to a faceless entity. I would prefer to dedicate all of that time, all of that effort, and all of that skill into myself and for my family, and leaving a legacy for those coming up behind me. And so at that point, I decided to go into the entrepreneurial journey. But for me, I understood, being on the corporate seat, I saw where all of the opportunities were. But even before that, I needed to have a plan, because all of these things were in my head. All of that experience was in my DNA. It wasn't documented. So I needed to have, and basically what that business plan was for me was like a GPS on how to structure, operate, and grow the business. So that's why it was important for me. And I want to add, I applaud YEA for facilitating the business training, business plan training workshop. I see a lot of that going on for encouraging entrepreneurs to develop business plans. But I have a different philosophy when it comes to that. I don't think that as young entrepreneurs that are starting out, your focus should be on your business. Probably most of you, all of your experience and talent is in an area or particular field. A lot of people, the banks, other entities will complain about the quality of the business plans that they receive. The business plans are supposed to be bad. That is not your expertise. So whereas I applaud the workshops that will give you an appreciation, I would like to plead the powers that be to concentrate on taking that away from the entrepreneurs. Let the entrepreneurs focus on their business and entrepreneurship and get the business plan support. So shift the business plan competence to business plan support. That is what these young entrepreneurs need, the support. And Mrs. Thomas Francis referenced the SEDU and other entities and other private entities that help with that regard. I mean, I see the ICDF in the room, and I've done some work with the Jeunesse program, and I've seen a lot of these plans coming through. And again, people lament the plans are horrible. The ideas are excellent, but the plans are horrible. The plans are supposed to be horrible. These are not their skill set. You cannot teach an entrepreneur how to put such an important and involved document together in a matter of weeks.
And Mr. Lorde, my question to you. As Mr. Collymore mentioned, you have been in the consulting business for many years now. What are some of the most common mistakes that you have seen in startup businesses, and how do you think some of those errors could be avoided or corrected?
Just as I was very passionate about SEDO, I'm passionate about YEA because I believe in what they're doing. I believe in the development of businesses as a means of St. Lucians owning St. Lucia. That is critical for us because we have children coming, and you will have children coming. We do not want them to be outsiders in their own home. It is very, very important. It is very important because I grew up in Castries, and when I was growing up in Castries, every business in Castries has belonged to St. Lucians. That's not again. And it's going to come to Soufrière. It's going to go to Ancillary. It's going to go everywhere if we don't take a stand. We must take a stand and own our own country. Having said so, when I looked at, over the years, what I realized is that although Mrs. Thomas is very, very thorough, one thing, if I have to add anything to what she says, is that you must learn how to look for business ideas. And when you have found business ideas, you must be honest with yourself and decide whether that is an idea for you. So not every good business idea is for anybody, right? That's one thing. People come with ideas. Mm-hmm. You don't want to turn them down, mm-hmm. but you just know that that's not a fit. Okay. And they go into things that they're not suited for and stuff like that. That's one thing. Another thing that happens because we into this business planning stuff and so on, and that's something I'd like to add to what you're saying. In my experience, the most important thing in a business plan is the research. If the research is not done right, every other thing in the business plan is wrong. Every other thing in the business plan is wrong. If you do the market research correctly, you're pretty much going to learn everything that you need to do about the business. And more importantly, you're going to know, should I do that business? Before you spend a cent.
Every business plan seems to give a false hope, particularly when it comes on to fiscal projections. So is it safe to say that a business plan can also be sort of a premeditated misconception of the actual point of a business?
I understand the question fully because, we come across hundreds of business plans and you can tell when you look at the numbers, come on. You now have the task to find or to package what you're going to say to the person without turning them down, without, breaking their spirit and stuff like that. And there are numerous ways you can test to see whether that particular business matches the financial projections, right? And we come back to research, yeah? Some people will tell you, boy, I will make X amount in a month. So I go back and I say, okay, if you're selling shoes, right? Let's take shoes for an example. In this particular area, and you're staying within this particular area, first of all, what's the population of that area? Yeah? How often do people buy shoes? That kind of thing. If you buy the shoes for $5 and you're selling it for 10, can the people travel, pay 50 cents or $1 and go somewhere else and buy it for 5? And all the things that Mrs. Thomas spoke about in terms of competition, in terms of pricing and all that kind of thing, because pricing by itself, there are a number of strategies for pricing, yeah? And that you must understand that you don't exist alone in the market. So let's say you come and you come with the strategy of pricing your stuff very low. Nobody's just going to, the people are already in the market, and nobody's going to just stay there and allow you to just come and eat the bread. Some businesses have the power enough to just undercut you in prices just to drive you out of business. That's happening in small businesses, that's happening in very large businesses. Business is actually civilized war, sanctioned war by the government. It's nothing friendly about it. So when people make the unrealistic financial projections, they're only hurting themselves. So what we do, we try to tend to bring them to reality and say, okay, who's buying this stuff? How often do they buy it? Are you the only one selling it? And it's more so today because anything you can think of buying around the corner, you can stay in your house and buy it. You don't have to go out anymore. You can stay in your house and buy it. And get it cheaper too. So we have to engage in ways and means of drawing people back to reality.
And that's what makes business risky. There are a lot of assumptions that are made, and I think Mrs. Thomas Francis told you all about it. In a business plans, there are lots of assumptions that you're going to make. And that's where the market research comes into, is important. If you do the proper market research, in those assumptions, you could provide sufficient information to make those assumptions believable and realistic. It doesn't help you as an entrepreneur if you're going to create a false business plan made up of assumptions that you yourself are not convinced about, because you're going to fail as well. So it makes it risky for you, it makes it risky for the financial business institution that's going to provide some support for you. That is why a business plan requires time, effort, skill to be able to develop it. Not every plan or business plan you have is feasible.